Welcome, folks, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka, and Bitcoin is pumping like an oil rig in Texas, baby. And why? Because Trump reveals planned U.S. crypto reserves. On today's show, Bitcoin dominance drops below 50% momentarily as Trump touts crypto reserve plan. Then he changes the plan. 3 bullish signs for Bitcoin price this week ahead, and the feature story of today, Bitcoin and Ethereum surge as Trump reveals planned U.S. crypto reserve assets. All this and so much more on today's show. Welcome, folks, to Crypto News Global. I'm your host, Nick Toka. Today is March 2nd, 2025, and Bitcoin and the whole crypto market's pumping like a mofo. Let's get right into it. It looks like Trump finally announced his Bitcoin strategic reserve plan. Of course, he often talks quite a bit and maybe forgets a thing or two while he's chatting, and it looks like he forgot to mention that Bitcoin was the focal point of this strategic reserve. So some other cryptos were pumping even more than Bitcoin, but I suspect as of tomorrow things are going to jump even more than today. So let's get right into our Market Watch Bitcoin technical analysis. As mentioned, we've got Bitcoin pumping, baby. Up 7.5%, 92,896. Let's call it 93,000. Ethereum up 11% to 2461. Solana up 20%. Sui up, looks like 18%. Doge up 12% to 23 cents. XLM had a big jump today. We've got XRP up 28% to $2.81. Let's get to the crypto bubbles for a better perspective. Almost everything's in the green today. And we've got ADA up 63%. Cardano, Solana up 20%. Trump coin up 20%. XRP up, as mentioned, 28%. Kronos up 36%. Move up 15%. IOTA up 21%. Everything's up. Zooming out to the weekly, we have HBAR up 30%, Bear up 25%, Cardano up 40%, IP up 53%, WIF up 18%, 17%, PLSX up 23%. Zooming out to the monthly, we still have lots of red here for the month. But certainly in the past couple days, things are definitely in the green. We've got the only things up. Sonic up 30% for the month. PLSX also up 30% for the month. Getting into the crypto market cap, we've got Bitcoin at $1.843 trillion currently. Ethereum at $297 billion. XRP $163 billion. Wowzers. Up $30 billion since yesterday. Solana up to now $88 billion. Cardano up to $38 billion. Doge $34 billion. Tron $21 billion. And Hardera up about $1 billion since yesterday. $11.4 billion. Going into our total market cap, we've got crypto at $3.05 trillion. Bitcoin back up to 60.5% dominance. Ethereum at 9.7% dominance. XRP maybe higher than I've seen in a month, 5.36% dominance. BNB coin 2.9, and all the others totaling 8 point something percent. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index currently sitting at a 33 in fear. Yesterday was a 26 in fear, and last week 49 in neutral. And there's approximately 1,140 days left until the next Bitcoin halving in 2028, at which time there are 162,939 coins left to mine until then. The total assets globally, we've got gold at 19.3 trillion, Apple at 3.6 trillion, Nvidia 3 trillion, Microsoft 2.9 trillion, Amazon 2.2 trillion, Google 2.085 trillion. And then we have Bitcoin back in its familiar position of number 7 overall, back above silver and Saudi Aramco, and even Facebook had overtaken it for a couple days there. Bitcoin currently sitting at $1.838 trillion in the number 7 position. Silver, number 8, 1.792. Saudi Aramco, $1.755 trillion. And Meta, Facebook, $1.69 trillion. And you can currently get 1,076 Satoshis for 1 fiat US dollar. Speaking of the fiat, we've got a huge debt continuing to climb at 36,547,100,000,000, which equals to 107,355 per U.S. citizen, or 323,047 per U.S. taxpayer. But we care most that Bitcoin is a pumpin', because Trump finally announced, I knew this was a ploy, to drop the price of Bitcoin so they can start picking up Bitcoin at a lower price. I had a feeling. I've been talking about it for weeks, guys. Bitcoin dominance, though, dropped below 50% as Trump touted the crypto reserve plan. The inclusion of altcoins in Trump's U.S. crypto strategic reserve announcement sent Bitcoin up 10%, but dented its dominance over altcoins. Bitcoin dominance slipped from 55.5% to 50% in the hours after President Donald Trump initially announced the country would include XRP, Solana, and Cardano in its crypto strategic reserve. Trump later confirmed on Truth Social that Bitcoin and also Ether would be at the heart of the reserve, though his inclusion of altcoins left a sour taste in the mouth of several Bitcoiners and even a Bitcoin critic. Bitcoin's dominance has slipped to 50%, as the likes of Cardano and XRP increased 60% and 34% respectively over the last 24 hours. Solana and Ether are also up 25% and 13% over the same time frame, while other altcoins weren't explicitly mentioned in Trump's post have also gained. Bitcoin rose only 10% to $94,000. The Trump administration's move not to implement a Bitcoin-only reserve surprised some, including Bitcoin critic Peter Schiff, who couldn't see the logic for including altcoins. I agree with that. I get the rationale for a Bitcoin reserve, Schiff wrote. I don't agree with it, but I get it. We have a gold reserve. Bitcoin is digital gold, which is better than analog gold, so let's create a Bitcoin reserve too. But what are the rationale for XRP reserve? Why the hell would we want that? Meanwhile, so here's Peter Schiff. America will never be great again as long as you can create worthless crypto tokens, then pay off government officials to declare them valuable and use taxpayer money to buy them. So we don't really care what Peter Schiff has to say. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's head of Alpha Strategies, Jeff Park, said it was a huge political miscalculation by Trump in underestimating just how crucial it was for the strategic reserve to focus solely on Bitcoin. I agree 100%. And the only crypto asset that makes any logical sense whatsoever as part of the country's strategic reserve is Bitcoin. Bitcoin Custody Solution CASA's CEO Nick Newman said, "Infinite supply digital assets, especially ones with zero utility, do not fit the bill." Others, such as Pierre Rochard, vice president of research at Bitcoin mining firm Riot Platform, said the crypto strategic reserve will naturally become Bitcoin only as altcoins trend to zero relative to Bitcoin. That makes sense. Also, The crypto strategic reserve comes on the back of weeks of evaluation from the president's newly formed working group on digital assets, led by Executive Director Bo Hines and David Sachs, the White House's AI and crypto czars. Trump will host the first White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, this Friday, inviting industry leaders to discuss regulatory policies and stablecoin oversight, which will be chaired by Sachs and administered by Hines. So I think we're going to get a lot more clarity on Friday when it comes to this crypto summit. And what's interesting is, how Trump sometimes officially announces things on Truth Social. Well, there he went saying, Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be at the heart of this plan. So a lot of things pumping today, almost certainly as we saw, everything's in the green. I think it was a bit of a misstep by Trump. And I feel like he's going to be orange pilled recently as early as this March 7th summit. There are definitely some good signs for Bitcoin in this coming week, so let's go through some of them. 3 bullish signs for Bitcoin's price in the week ahead. There's no way to sugarcoat what's transpired in the crypto market in the past week. Take Bitcoin, for example. It challenged the $100,000 level on February 21st, but slumped by over 20 grand in the following week to dump a 3-month low of $78,000 on Friday, the 28th of February. Although it managed to recover some ground and stood above 83K when the month ended, it still made the worst February in over a decade in terms of price performance. Quite the unexpected development given February's solid relationship with Bitcoin. The reasons behind the correction are still debated, but most experts blame it on Trump's controversial economic and political moves, which include tariffs on numerous countries, as well as rather unexpected approach in the Russia-Ukraine war. And I'd like also to add the Bitcoin hack for about $1.4 billion from Bybit. The danger of this uncertainty still looms, and it could result in price crashes. However, there are some positive signs for Bitcoin after the weekly sell-off that could suggest a rebound and target the 6-digit territory. BTC whales back accumulating. Whales and ETF buyers are the 2 leading cohorts of BTC investors at the forefront of the recent sell-off. The net outflows from the US-based spot ETF skyrocketed with a violent streak that saw more than $3.5 billion being pulled out of the funds within 2 weeks at one point. Whales, which are of particular significance to the market due to their ability to move the underlying asset with massive purchases or sales, disposed of millions worth of BTC within days. However, both saw some initial positive gains. The ETFs registered nearly 100 million in net inflows on Friday, thus breaking the adverse streak, while Ali Martinez said 34,600 BTC valued at 2.94 billion at the current prices was moved to accumulation wallets. The RSI and a realized index, a relative strength index and realized loss. The second signal indicating a bullish recovery in the near future is the on-chain trader's realized loss margin. The metric historically hints at a rebound when it goes below 12%, which wasn't the case a few days ago when BTC dropped to around 82,000. However, the decline to 78 pushed the metric to 14%, which now means the history will be challenged again. Lastly, Martinez brought the relative strength index, which tracks whether the underlying asset is overbought or oversold. If it drops below 30, it suggests an oversold state, which is currently the case for BTC, with the metric going to 24. Once again, history is at play. Historically, when the daily RSI drops below 30, Bitcoin tends to rebound. Right now, it's sitting at 24. So this is definitely positive news for the week ahead. And they didn't even mention, this story came out March 2nd at 3:20, which is likely just a bit before Trump announced the changes in the Bitcoin reserve. I'm surprised he also didn't mention the crypto summit that is happening on Friday. But we are definitely mentioning it, and we're definitely talking about the Trump plan and U.S. crypto reserve asset. Bitcoin and Ethereum surge as Trump reveals planned U.S. crypto reserve asset. We got to delve deep into this. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum are flying high Sunday after President Trump confirmed both will feature in a planned national crypto reserve. Bitcoin and Ethereum both have jumped more than 10% over the last day after President Trump clarified that both will be featured prominently in a planned U.S. crypto reserve alongside assets that have posted even higher gains on Sunday. As of this writing, Bitcoin is up nearly 11% on the day with a current price of $94,000 per data from CoinGecko, clawing back recent gains after falling as low as $78,900 on Friday. It's still down more than 1% on the week amid the volatility. Ethereum, meanwhile, has popped nearly 14% over the past day to a current price just above $2,500, though Ethereum remains down 11% over the past 7 days. On Sunday, Trump, the Trumpster, posted on Truth Social, writing that the valuable crypto assets XRP, Solana, and Cardano would feature in a planned crypto strategic reserve. However, he did not mention Bitcoin in the initial post, despite it being the original focus in a reserve plan that he first detailed at last year's Bitcoin Nashville conference. Before long, however, he posted a follow-up post on the network clarifying that both Bitcoin and Ethereum would be included as well. And obviously, BTC and ETH as other valuable cryptocurrencies will be the heart of the reserve. Trump wrote, I also love Bitcoin and Ethereum. While the two top assets are showing sizable gains on the day, the first three assets he mentioned have popped even higher on the day. XRP is up 35% to a current price of $292. Solana rose 25% to about $175, and Cardano is leading the pack with an enormous 68% spike to $1.07 as of this writing. So a little interesting that Trump came out with Bitcoin as almost an afterthought. Again, sometimes he blurts things out and forgets things. I'll be honest. Sometimes he has these Freudian slips. And, I don't know if it's on purpose or if he genuinely forgets. I feel like some things are missed out. I also feel like, the crypto czar probably said something to him like, oh, yeah, we're going to do, Cardano, XRP, and whatever was listed here, the other shitcoinery. It was the three coins, XRP, Solana, yeah, how could I forget that, and Cardano. Again, my thought is he was just so excited perhaps about this Bitcoin reserve that it was assumed that the big players would also be part of this, which is Bitcoin first, Ethereum second. This is my hope. We're going to find out over the next few days. I've been talking for a while about sticking with the big three, which I've stated are Bitcoin, Solana, and XRP. So hopefully everybody who watched my show has kind of stuck to those three and away from the rest of the shit coins. Looks like Cardano is going to play a big part of this reserve as well. Again, I believe with the first analyst, which was talking about, why would something with such a, these coins with such a huge supply be included with the Bitcoin reserve. However, he also said that eventually all those coins are going to go to zero against Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be the last man standing, which I also agree with. So good news today, and hopefully things will continue to pump over the next few days. Please remember, guys, that money is abundant and money is everywhere. It's time that's scarce, so Spend your time wisely. Spend less money than you earn to keep more money in your pocket and less money in the banks. We don't want to keep making those banks rich. Don't pay interest. You can trust the banks to keep your savings, but I would trust yourself more. So if you start making more money, start saving more money. Stop giving money to the banks in terms of interest as much as possible. Start saving when you're young. Ideally, you start saving when you're in your teens or early 20s, and then you can retire when you're 40 or 45. If you've got a great idea, start today, guys. Don't wait for tomorrow. Even if you're not ready, start today. I can't stress that enough. Now, I'm on a mission to have over 500 subscribers this year, and it's going to happen. I'd love it if you came along for the ride. So please, if you found this stream enjoyable, please share, like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you on the next stream, folks. Thanks for joining.